Public Protector's Office head, Sphelo Samuel, will be facing cross-examination tomorrow by Advocate Dalli Mpofu, and this is suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane's legal counsel. He testified today at the parliamentary impeachment into her fitness to hold office. Samuel, who had been fired by Mkhwebane and then reinstated, made several damning allegations against her. In his testimony, Athi Mtongana has been tracking that particular story for us. Athi, good evening to you. Of course, it was always going to come to the fore, and it's that controversial investigation. At least it's becoming controversial now that more and more details come out at this inquiry into the Vrede Dairy Farm scandal, and who the Public Protector in the end found culpable and accountable for that scandal.
It's interesting that we heard today from Sphelo Samuel that Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane gave them directives not to implicate former Free State Premier Ace Magashule and then MEC Mosebenzi Zwane in adverse findings. These are similar allegations that were made by the previous witness, Kathy. You may recall that Advocate, a former senior investigator in the Office of the Public Protector, also made similar allegations, saying that they got directives from Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane not to implicate politicians in adverse findings. And so we're hearing this once again from yet another witness that is currently giving oral evidence before the Section 194 committee. And another interesting development that he gave, Kathy, because this is one witness that also wrote to the Speaker of the National Assembly in 2020 after deposing an affidavit where he was complaining about the conduct of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, saying it's reflecting badly on the Chapter 9 institution and its integrity, given that some of her reports were constantly being taken on review and that a lot of money and a lot of resources were channeled into litigation processes. He went as far as to label it in his affidavit reckless litigation processes, all to benefit her personal political agendas. That's how this witness put it before the Section 194 committee, Kathy.
Well, that means that tomorrow, of course, it's going to be a tough cross-examination from Advocate Dalli Mpofu, who's been at pains to paint his client as somebody who's not driven by political agendas or motives and is acting independently as the person who's occupying the office of the Public Protector should.
The claims that were made today by Mr. Samuel, Kathy, even go as far as to say that when senior investigators wanted to go out into the ground to service complainants, particularly citizens that were in need of the services of the Public Protector's Office, those investigators, including him, were not given a budget and money to travel into these areas where they had to subsequently work from their desktops. He was saying that the Public Protector abused her powers, and that is why he decided to write to the Speaker of the National Assembly. And it is at the back of that Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane charged him for making disparaging claims against her, and then he was subsequently reinstated by the CCMA. And so Advocate Dalli Mpofu will really be looking into some of the claims that he has made. I can tell you now that with the previous witness, he labels him a particular witness that cannot be trusted and one that is a disgruntled former employee. One then wonders if he will use that particular same argument when he's cross-examining Mr. Samuel tomorrow, who didn't feel well after the brief break that they had. Initially, he was being examined by the evidence leader, and then when he was about to be cross-examined by Advocate Dalli Mpofu, he then indicated to the chairperson that he was not feeling well, and they will continue fresh again tomorrow from 10 a.m. where Advocate Dalli Mpofu, as I said, will get his opportunity to cross-examine him.
Athi Mtongana, I want us to look at some of the proceedings then that took place throughout that particular hearing earlier on in the day.